Did you know that video is one of the fastest growing platforms on social media? And what if you could leverage it to help you attract new patients into your practice? And over 100 million hours are watched on Facebook every day. Over and the average time people spend on YouTube per day is 8 minutes and 41 minutes per day, and it's the second most visited website in existence, for example. So we're going to be talking about that to help you with leveraging this to attract patients. And this is Chen Yen, 6 and 7 figure practice makeover mentor at introvertedvisionary.com and your host of the Kyra Secure Show today. So when also Instagram is they've talked about this recently about how likely their platform is going to move primarily towards being on video. And Facebook also executives were quoted years ago saying things like they also expect Facebook to be primarily more of a video platform in the upcoming years too. So this is not just like an overnight thing that trend kind of thing. It is likely going to happen. And so if you don't catch on the bandwagon, then you're going to be left behind. If you're not using this as an opportunity to leverage your reaching more people at once, then you're going to be left behind. So let's talk about how you can leverage this to grow your practice more effectively as a chiropractor. And let's talk about I'm going to talk about each video platform. So today we're going to cover each video platform that's the most popular right now. And then we're also going to talk about, well, what if you don't like to be on camera? And then how do you increase things? How do you increase patient bookings through the videos? Because it's one thing to do the video and another to actually bring in new patients from it. So the different platforms and what to think about, the distinctions, the pros and cons, so that you can decide, oh, which one might make the most sense for me to be on. So let's first talk about Facebook. So Facebook, did you know that back in the day, you could pretty much create a Facebook business page, and most of the posts that would be posted on there, people who liked your business page would see it. But did you know, have you ever noticed there were actually studies done on this, that did you know that recently in the last, even, last couple of years, it's like as low as what percentage actually will see your post if you post on Facebook? Sometimes even as low as 3.5% of the people who like your business page might actually even see it. So what does that mean? No wonder. Have you ever thought about how sometimes you post on the business page and then you wonder, gosh, how come there are very few people liking it or seeing it or engaging with it, and certainly not translating to patients either, right? So uh, that's because of how Facebook is trending to be more, because now it's more of a pay to play platform uh, than it was before. But there is one kind of platform within Facebook that can spread out the word of what you're posting organically much further than any text post would ever give you for organic traffic. What is it? It's to do a Facebook Live. So not an uploaded video, not one that you create and then you upload later. But one that you do as a Facebook Live. Did you know that Facebook Lives are seen by up to 10 times more than a text post might end up getting seen? So when I say text post, that means like a written post um, instead of a video post. And so that's why it could be good to consider being on Facebook Live. And the pros of this platform is that it's pretty easy to go live. And I'm just going to answer a couple of the commonly asked questions I get about this. So one question that I get is, how long should my video be? So if I were to do things on Facebook Live, ideally it would be at least 10 minutes if possible. Why is that? Because for those of you who feel like, well, but I like to be concise, why do I need to be 10 minutes at least? Because people might hop on to your Facebook Live at different times during the time you're on. And so when Facebook sees that there are more people on during the time that it's live, it'll push it out. It'll send it out to, at least from what I've noticed, it tends to send it out to more and more people. So that's one benefit of it being on the longer side, right? For the in terms of over 10 minutes compared to compared to like 30 seconds or something, or a minute. So that's one hot tip. The other thing, I'm just trying to think of what else to mention to you about. Oh, yes. One hot tip also is to do it on your Facebook business page, but make sure you share it on your personal Facebook page so that um, that way it ends up being shared in both places while you're live. So it seems like, from observation, personal experience with this, that Facebook tends to push it out more to people when people are watching it while it's live, right? If there's more people watching it while it's live. So it's good to share it on those pages while it's live. So there's likelihood of more people watching it. Okay, so that's one hot tip about Facebook. And now let's talk about the cons from what I've seen in terms of Facebook. And so Facebook Lives, the cons of it is that it's not like people are, in Facebook, people aren't necessarily searching for solutions to their issue there, which is why we're going to talk about YouTube, and that's a better platform for that kind of thing, right? So that's a con of a Facebook Live. So that's one main consideration. So now let's talk about the YouTube and how you could utilize that platform to reach more people. So the benefit of YouTube is that it's a search engine, and it's an organic traffic search engine where people are typing in specific things that they're looking up. And if they end up liking what you're talking about, then you'll end up showing up in their feed next time they watch a YouTube video. So then that just builds more of that loyalty of seeing your video if they liked your previous video, right? Or just even if they've watched your previous video many times, it'll end up showing up more likely, or especially if you subscribe. So also, you can go from having like no videos that you do at all, and then being spot on with one video, and that video getting a lot of views. So it's not like you have to post on YouTube all the time in order for it to work well. By the way, Facebook, one thing that I mentioned was that about the pros is that it's pretty easy to get going, and you could literally get one up right now and then be even getting new patients or new leads from it when you have, for example, a following on Facebook already, right? So okay, so as far as YouTube, though, one of the pros of it is it is a robust search engine, and it's like free traffic to your video, and then subsequently your website too, if you set it up appropriately, that gets indexed in the search engines, and it could be working for you over and over and over again. And what are some of the let me just think about what to share tips related to YouTube is to the key here in terms of getting ranked higher in YouTube and for your videos to be found is to do videos that are more keyword SEO based. Like basically do videos on topics that people tend to search about in YouTube. But one quick way for you to get started, you don't have to get everything perfect. You don't have to feel like, oh, now I need to go research this thing and I don't know how to research, and now I have to hire someone, and then you don't do it. And you don't need to be that complicated at all. Just get one video up and going. And what kind of topic do you talk about? It's a question I get asked. So a good framework for questions in YouTube is more related to a specific question that someone might have. So think about the common questions your patients ask you, perhaps about chiropractic or about nutrition or about particular health issue, right? So, or it could be like, does chiropractic work for, and then XYZ, such and such health issue, So those kinds of things that people might be wondering about. And those are good topics to start off with. You could also do topics related to challenges that people typically have, or concerns that people have about chiropractic, like, what can chiropractic cause serious side effects, things, or serious, is chiropractic bad for you, it's something like that too, like things that people have a concern about, but again, it could be a commonly searched topic. So those are some hot tips about YouTube. uh, then we're going to come and talk a little bit about Instagram next. But before we do that, because for some of you still listening, you might be thinking, okay, I like the idea of educating people, and I like the idea of, because the cool part about getting on video is that you can create one video, and then it could be there for good. Like, you don't have to create it again, and yet it's there and people can watch it. I remember I was attending this. So this is in my, like, previous, well, uh, kind of like previous life kind of thing in a profession, right? Because I'm originally trained as a pharmacist, have a doctor of pharmacy degree. So I was attending this conference, this pharmacy conference, where where they're in New Orleans, where there are over 10,000 pharmacists in town for this conference. And I went into this FedEx Kinko's. This woman comes up to me and she says, "Hey, I know you." I looked at her and I thought, "Really? Who are you?" And then she said, "I've seen you on YouTube." And I thought, wow. Because back then, it's not like I was creating that many videos. I had probably created just a couple of videos at that point in time for my other business. And that moment just left a lasting impression on me about how one video can literally end up reaching someone like that, who I would have never imagined. And that's the power of video, where I didn't have to create it again, but she saw it, right? So, I mean, I didn't have to keep creating new stuff all the time, but she ended up seeing it. So, for those of you who feel like, well, I like the idea of educating, but then I get nervous being on camera, let me just tell you that I used to be terrible on camera, or just terrible when I felt like people would be watching me. Because when I was little, I had very strict Asian parents. Um, my parents were first generation immigrants from Taiwan, and they were very strict. My dad's PhD research scientist, and he was just very, very strict. Same with my mom. In any case, so my dad, when I was little, when I was around 6 years old, or might be 8 years old, I remember Sunday mornings very vividly. Why? Because I remember feeling kind of jealous of other kids. I would think that when they got the Sunday paper, they would be able to open it up and check out the comic strips and get, and be like, relaxing Sunday. But whereas, no, for me, what was my Sunday like? I would feel like I dreaded it every week. Why? Because my dad made me do current event talks every Sunday. And I remember crying so many moments when I cried, because my dad was very strict in how he critiqued me. And he also has a very different style of speaking than I do. He's very rigid, very factual, and it's got to be like this kind of thing. And it gave me so much performance anxiety, to the point where I said to myself, I will never speak. I will never speak when I grow up, because I would literally get on in front of an audience, and then I would completely make a fool of myself because I didn't even know what I was saying when I said it, to the point where it literally didn't make sense. And then my face would get really hot. And I felt like my heart would beat really fast. I just felt like I wanted to run off stage or melt under the rug, because it truly was that embarrassing, because I felt like I made a fool of myself, and I did, it really did. So, but why did I end up speaking or even being on video? Is because I love to teach. So when I was a little kid, I used to, my idea with fun was get worksheets from my third grade teacher, and then give them to my friends and basically be their teacher, right? And grade their homework and things like that. So that was my idea of fun. I love teaching ever since I was little. So it was because of that desire that I decided, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try being on video. And I still remember doing my first videos. And I remember, first of all, the lighting was terrible. I don't typically wear makeup. And I'm the kind of person who actually didn't wear makeup to my wedding. That's how much I don't like makeup. so, um, so then I remember doing these first videos where I would look at myself and I think, oh, I look terrible. Oh my gosh, I want to delete this. Or I don't, I didn't say anything that was really worthwhile to hear about. And so the reason I bring this up is that if I came from being so terrified and so nervous and not good at it at all to now being invited to speak on national stages. If I could do that, then you could do it too. And same thing with, getting on video. And so one hot tip for you, I mean, there are two hot tips if you don't like to be on camera, if you're concerned about it, is to think about how, like, look at the camera directly and then just imagine someone who you're very comfortable with, a friend or someone you know, and just talking to that one person. Or talking to like a cat or dog. So that's one hot tip. Your cute little cat, a cute little dog, a fuzzy little animal. So then the second tip is that I've got these like aura sprays that I like. Actually, I have one right here. I like to use it. These are wonderful sprays and like to spray myself with this wonderful energetically just lightens things up right before for I go, for example, on video or camera. In fact, I did that right before today, right? The other thing is this. Okay, you could do this with me right now. And this will help you regardless of whether you do video, but it'll help you in life where, have you ever gotten nervous about something that you felt like was important? It'll help you with that. So this is what you can do. Stick your tongue out, go like this. So do it with me right now. Stick your tongue out, go like this. So then that way it just releases all these thoughts about, I'm nervous or I'm going to go do terrible and all these kinds of things. So that's one hot tip for you. Okay, so let's wrap up here. Let's talk about the Instagram hot tip. Hope those tips were helpful. How many of you found it helpful? Go ahead and type in the comment or like this right now if you're finding this helpful. And so the Instagram platform is, see, the cool part about this is whatever you create on Facebook or YouTube, it can be repurposed. You could just create one video and then repurpose it and put it on Instagram or YouTube or have it on Facebook Live. And as far as when it comes to Instagram, longer videos are usually on IGTV. So just know that, and that's good enough for you to know right now. So then now, as one thing I want to leave you with is, what if you aren't booking any patients from your videos? Let's say you're doing the videos and you feel like, well, I'm not getting as many patients as I'd like, or you haven't done it and you're like, well, is this really worth my while? So one hot tip that many chiropractors make the mistake of is not having a good call to action. Do you have a good call to action at the end of your Facebook Live? Do you have a good call to action at the end of YouTube? And it's slightly different what the call to action needs to be in different platforms. Because, for example, YouTube, if you go too long with a call to action, then people click off and then your retention rate's not going to be as high. And YouTube scores you on that. Whereas Facebook, you could do call to action somewhere in the middle and then do it later. So there's some slightly different strategy with that. So what I decided to do, because most chiropractors aren't good with call to actions. Also, even if you never do a video, if you want to know, how do I have more new patients booking from social media posts that I do? How do I have more patients booking from an email newsletter or something that I send out, or something that I handout that I give, right? This will help you with it. So I'm going to give you, would it be helpful for you if I gave you an exact script that you can literally just swipe and use as far as effective call to actions that will help you with booking more new patients? So you click on the link in the comment below section, and you're going to go to introvertedvisionary.com/CTA scripts. Again, it's introvertedvisionary.com/CTA scripts. Download it instantly. It's free, and use it to help you start getting more new patients from your videos and from anything else that you do with marketing. So, with that, um, like this, if you found it helpful, go to that website to download the scripts. And if you're in a place where you would like to get this going to be able to bring in patients on autopilot more, then feel free to book a session with us or book a free chat with us. Go to our website, introvertedvisionary.com, book a free chat with us and see how we can help you further. So, help you grow faster. And that way you can help more people who need you and be making good money while you're waking up the planet more.